Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. I greet you in love and light and invite the presence, the awareness of the presence of God into this space, the presence of love, the presence of light, the presence of wholeness and healing and infinite well being, the presence of oneness into this space where we're gathered here today. We're here each Wednesday with Hope and Healing Hour in an effort to share some hope and to literally make healing available. I'm blessed to be able to uh, share healing with people. It's been made manifest in my life in miraculous ways and been thankful to participate in helping other people to experience medical miracles all across the globe and even train other people to do the same because it really isn't about me. It's about sharing the love and the light in the earth and reaching as many people as we can, doing all that we can to elevate consciousness, to bring a sense of well being and wholeness. The reality is that we really are all one people. We might come in different shapes and forms and sizes, different skin tones and hair textures. We might speak different languages and have all different types of ways of relating to life differently. But independent of those differences, those various nuances, we really are all one people. And it's definitely one of the great joys and pleasures of my life to be able to flow in this great stream of oneness, in this great stream of love and light in a way that we're able to bring about some positive changes, some life affirming changes in the lives of people and, and give great thanks to the Most High for making that opportunity available. So I extend warm greetings to everybody who is here today or everybody who catches this on a replay, whether on Facebook or on YouTube or anywhere else. And by the way, I just want to put this out there. If at any point during today there's anybody experiencing any physical pain, please let us know. We'll address it on the spot in this context today. There's always something deeper underneath the surface. It's the root of pain, sickness, and dis-ease in whatever form that might show up. And so we're definitely more than happy to serve in a healing capacity where that's concerned. If anybody has any physical pain or even anything of an emotional nature that you're having maybe some challenges with or some struggles with and would like to bring a new level of wholeness into that area, we're more than happy to support in that area. So we certainly welcome you to do that. So today's kind of focus is really on shedding light on the shadows, right? Shedding light on the shadows. Now, I've been on a consciously engaged in the spiritual journey for a while, and I have to tell you that at some point in my journey, maybe for a lot of my journey, I didn't really see well, shoot, for that matter, I still don't see in completely the whole entire picture. Hey, Trisha C, always good to see you. Welcome today. Um, we don't see the whole picture, and definitely there was a time on this spiritual journey where I felt that being or had this idea that being spiritual or being that to be spiritual, I needed to be devoid of negative emotions um, and certain ooky kind of feelings and things of that nature. And maybe to a certain degree, that's true. But the reality that I ended up coming to realize is that part of spiritual maturity, part of the journey, is recognizing those areas and really owning those areas that may not be in full alignment with the light, may not be fully aligned with a sense of wholeness. And I know that in my own journey, and maybe some others out there can relate to this, I, in some cases, acted like some negative thoughts and negative feelings weren't there. And, I tried to cover them, um, and focus uh, on something else other than those aspects. And I'm not saying that we should dwell on any sense of negativity. I'm not saying that at all. I don't believe that's healthy either. But I do recognize that as we are currently dwelling in this earth realm, occupying human bodies that exist in physical form, there is something that happens as a result of that. When you shine light on something of a physical nature, what is created behind that physical thing that you're shining the light on? A shadow. Okay, a shadow. And we all have different shadows that exist within our being, within different aspects of our life experience. There are areas of darkness that exist within all of us. There are areas where we have felt hurt, where we felt ashamed, where we felt disappointment or resentful, or or even hostility, or we've experienced maybe on some degree some self-loathing, and different forms of negativity like that. And there are times where we've experienced interactions with other people or just circumstances and conditions in life that we haven't really felt very good about, that we felt very displeased about. And then a lot of times, people on a spiritual journey can ignore that or act like it doesn't exist, or be love and light in the midst of whatever is really going on beneath the surface. And so what happens is that those surface things that are dwelling deep down inside, they end up having some negative outcomes. We stuff those areas deep down inside, and in different ways, they begin to create a sense of toxicity. All right. And so, right now, for whatever reason, I keep getting this imagery of water. And things may look one way on the surface of the water, but you don't have any real clear understanding unless the water is very, very pure and clear. You don't really have an understanding of what all lies within the depths of that water, right? You don't know that that's yet in the unknown. And emotions actually are a lot like water. They're ruled by the element of water. And both of them need to flow in order to remain healthy, to be life-giving. Stagnant water becomes toxic. Stagnant water becomes toxic. Water is necessary for things in the physical form to live, to exist. Whether a human being or a cockroach, we all need water. There's something very life-giving in water. You can last a lot longer without food than you can without water. There's something that is essential for beings living in a physical form on planet Earth, that water gives and makes available. And yet, water that is stagnant, water that is not moving, becomes toxic. It becomes toxic and is no longer life-giving, but life-stripping at that point, right? It's no longer life-giving, but life-stripping at that point. In a similar way, there's something good and beautiful about the realm of emotions, okay? The realm of emotions that allows us to watch a movie or see a child playing or hear a child laughing, or see a beautiful piece of art and have feelings stir up within us. Some feelings are feelings of utter joy and bliss. Some feelings aren't necessarily feelings that we would maybe quite as readily embrace, feelings that don't necessarily feel as good, like pain and anger and resentment and things of that nature. But the reality is, emotions are really energy in motion. And if we don't allow those emotions to flow, like the water, they become stagnant and then toxic at that point. They're no longer life giving, but life defeating, life stripping at that point. Okay. And so the realm, the full range of human emotions is part of the beauty of living in this existence as a human being on planet Earth. Being able to go the gamut of the varying ranges of emotions and yet not get stuck in any of them in any particular juncture, whether they're so-called positive emotions or so-called negative emotions. It's important to allow that energy to flow, to allow it to flow. And so what sometimes happens is that in our life journey, what will sometimes happen is along our life journey, and it could be in the course of our lifetime, uh, is adults, it could have been during teenage years, which tend to be difficult. It could be in the point of being a toddler or even an infant in the process of being born, things that were taking place within the womb, things that took place within the lives of ancestors before us, things that have taken place within other life streams, things that have not necessarily created good feelings within us, things that we didn't necessarily fully reconcile. Those things end up creating some dissonance within us. They create some discord within us when we've not fully reconciled them. And so what happens is that those things feel uncomfortable. Maybe a parent said something to you that really caught you in a negative way at a time that you were vulnerable, and you maybe developed some self-judgment as a function of that. Maybe there is some experience of abandonment or rejection in relationships along the way somewhere. Maybe there's something that you view in the news, and you see things in media that are portraying certain things, and there's a sense of what's beautiful, what's lovely, what's safe, and then a sense of what's not. And if you feel like you're seeing something that comes across to you as you not falling in the category of what's good, there can be some negative self-talk that results as a function of that. There could be a shadow that is born within you as a function of that, a area that's tucked away in the hidden away in some secret place within your being where you close yourself off from. And then that situation, that energy that isn't flowing properly ends up getting stored within the cells of your body somewhere in some portion of your body. And then sickness, illness, dis-ease ends up manifesting in that particular area of the body, right? Sickness and dis-ease manifested in a certain area of the body, not simply because of the things that the doctors are able to see when they're running tests, but there's always something much, much deeper, well beneath the surface, that's at the root of all sickness and dis-ease, all maladies, all discord or disharmony within the body temple, right? And so I'm inviting us to actually display the courage to shine light on the shadows, to shine light on the shadows. The beautiful thing is that anywhere where there's a darkness, anywhere where there's something that's unknown, anywhere where there's something that you are fearful of or afraid of, by shining the light in that area, the darkness then disappears, right? The darkness then disappears, and we don't have to curse it. We don't have to yell at it. We don't have to be angry at it. We don't have to judge it. All that we have to do is bring in the presence of the light into those dark areas that exist within us. Sometimes the dark areas that exist within us are the thought forms that we're holding as it relates to other people, other circumstances, other situations, judgments that we make, and things of that nature. Because somehow along life's journey, we see things that we agree with, we see things that we disagree with, we hold judgments about what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, who's right, who's wrong. And we never want to be the one considered to be wrong or bad or not right in some kind of way. But the reality is that we can only see in others what exists on some level within ourselves. We can't see it if it doesn't exist within our consciousness. We literally can't see it if it doesn't exist within our consciousness. And if there is something that we're seeing in others, it may be a trigger to look at something more deeply within ourselves. If we're being triggered by something we're seeing in somebody else, there may be an invitation present to take a moment of introspection and really uncover some areas, really go looking in those secret chambers of the hidden recesses of our soul where we've closed the door, where we've not allowed the light of love into that space. There may be an area where some healing is needed within us. It could be an ancient issue that we have no conscious awareness of, but there could be something that is hidden there that's locked up in that secret place that we might need to loosen up, that we might need to shine light into, that we might need to bring love and healing into that space. And by the way, I see a couple people here making comments. Mary, good to see you, my sister. Good to have you here. Jennifer Bliss, many blessings to you, my sister. Good to have you. Melanie Ivy, so good to have you here today. And so what my inclination is on this afternoon is to invite us to take a moment and allow ourselves to, and you don't have to do it before me, you don't have to do it before the other people who are participating in this session this afternoon, but to be real with yourself and display the courage to stand naked before the mirror of truth. To stand naked before the mirror of truth. And not only to stand naked before the mirror of truth, but to allow yourself to be seen by yourself. Allow yourself to really be seen by yourself. And beyond that, to not be ashamed, but to embrace what you see. Oh man, there's a power in being naked but unashamed. There's a power and a beauty in being naked but unashamed. And often we're afraid to be vulnerable in that way, to be exposed in that way, because we've had times perhaps in our life's journey where we experienced it as being unsafe to display that kind of vulnerability. We've experienced times where it's dangerous to allow ourselves to be exposed. But I'm going to tell you, it is that sense of shame that keeps us locked in to so many negative self-defeating habits and behaviors. As a matter of fact, shame is what fuels all addictions. There may be other things connected to the addiction, but shame is what fuels any form of addiction. And so I want to invite us to wherever you are right now, to allow yourself to just get present with yourself. And just pose the request. Reveal me to me. Reveal all of me to me. Let me see the whole of who I am. May I see the whole of the areas that I have allowed to be fragmented. May I peek behind the veil of the illusions that I have about myself and that I have about others. May I peer into those spaces within me where the shadows dwell. And invite the light into those spaces. You may want to think of some situation or some circumstance that you felt ashamed about, you not felt comfortable sharing it with anybody else. And I'm not saying that you necessarily have to share it with anybody else at this juncture, but I want to invite you to look at it. To look at it. And even if it feels a little uncomfortable to do so, to allow yourself to be present in the moment and look at it. Maybe it was certain behaviors that you've displayed that were not healthy decisions. things that may have hurt you and someone else. There's really no change in consciousness. There's no change in behavior if we don't own what is. And maybe some of the things that you see might not look very pretty. Some of the things may be difficult to look at, unpleasant to look at. But if you shine the light on those things, if you shine the light on them, accept it as part of your life experience, invite love into the space where that ugliness exists, to invite love into the space where the shame exists, to invite love into the space where the fear, the hatred, where the animosity exists. Wholeness can be brought into those spaces that are carrying those stagnated energies. I want us all to know that who we really are is beings of infinite magnitude. We are powerful beyond what we are consciously aware. We exist in all times and spaces, past, present, and future. We are intimately and intricately interconnected. Just like right now, we're all connected through the internet and the World Wide Web, and people may be tuned in from different places on the planet. There's an intricate web that connects and links us all, a beautiful, profound, intricate tapestry through which we're all connected, through which we're all really are one. And I invite us to allow ourselves to step beyond the illusions of our limitation. I invite us to step beyond the illusions of any sense of separation, and to embrace within ourselves a willingness to be responsible, a willingness for us to be responsible for what it is that we experience, a willingness to be responsible to participate in the awakening of the awareness of the presence of wholeness in this earth, in this time and space called now. There's a lot that we see that might give us pause. There is a lot that's going on that we could develop all types of fears around. And yes, it is important to acknowledge if there is some fear there, but bring the light into the fear and continue moving forward. I'm not inviting you to act like something doesn't exist. What I'm inviting you to do is tap into the greater thing that does exist within each and every one of us. And within all of us, there's a healer. Within each and every single one of us, there is a profound power that just needs to be accessed. It just needs to be tapped into. We just need to find that place that exists within us, which really is the essence of us. Not this stuff, but there's something really at the core of who and what we really are that is powerful beyond measure. It has the ability to manifest in profoundly significant ways in the earth realm. And so I invite us to really embrace within us both those areas of darkness and those areas of light. Where there is light, let us celebrate it. Where there is darkness, let us shine the light on it and bring it into the light. They're all aspects of our existence that exist within us. And we can only fully and completely love. We can only fully and completely love other people if we learn to fully and completely love ourselves. And we can only fully and completely love ourselves if we fully and completely love every aspect of ourselves. Right? Right? Mary says, I am that I am, and that is beautiful enough for me. I hear you, Mary. Yes, yes. Jennifer says, we are all one people. Yes, we are. We are all one people. Mary also says, purge the need reflex and just be. And I love the being that I am when I surrender to the all. Ashe. Yes, yes, yes. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I wonder what are some areas for anybody who feels willing to share, what are some areas that you might be working on or working through right now, or some areas that you might be going through or growing through right now that we might all be able to lend some support in that area. We can truly be our brothers and our sisters um, keepers in the sense of having one another's backs. We really are all one anyway. We really are all one anyway. And so if anybody is willing to share an area where you would like some support, we are certainly more than happy um, to be a network of support for you. If there's anybody here today dealing with any physical pain or any particular struggle that you're dealing with, even of a spiritual or emotional nature, uh, feel free to let us know. We'll be more than happy to address it right now. Trisha C says, my vision, I fixed it by 33% since my last eye. Oh, that's wonderful. 33% improvement since your last eye exam. Okay. Trisha, what are you experiencing with your vision right now, by the way? What's going on with your vision? Are you experiencing nearsightedness, farsightedness, um, astigmatism? How, pardon me, I'm going to have a little water. We were talking about water earlier. We got some handy. Okay, Trisha, you say both eyes. What's the challenge that you're experiencing with both of your eyes? Farsighted, but mostly astigmatism. So, so you're not able to really see things very clearly that are close up. Is that how it's manifesting for you, just in terms of on a practical level? If you can just kind of let us know. And I know there's kind of a little bit of a delay in terms of because of the third party software we're using, the StreamYard, from the time the words go out of my mouth until the time they enter your ear. Anybody? Oh, thank you, Mary. That's very kind of you to say, by the way. And I see, by the way, I want to honor Dr. Kafera Giselle um, regarding um, your husband's passing, and that you're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of that passing. And my heart is certainly with you where that's concerned. Okay, so Trisha, you said yes, but that's behind you. You're working on okay, working on seeing things as they are. All right, I hear you. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay, and Mira, you're wanting to work on instantaneous manifestation. Okay. I want to just say something about that real quickly. Um, just for all of us, we're really at an interesting time right now in terms of the unfolding of the human experience and human evolution. On December 21st of last year, there was the Great Conjunction. We've been in the midst for a while of a polar shift. The magnetics of the planet are shifting. We're moving towards 0 point, the space in which things are made manifest very, very quickly. And actually, the way that we manifest is through the things that we hold in our thought realm and the things we're thinking about and the things that we're feeling about. And so I want to encourage all of us to be conscious of where I'm going to get this out properly, to be conscious of where it is that we're directing our consciousness, because energy follows consciousness. Where consciousness goes, energy flows. And where things are moving right now is an ability to manifest things much, much, much more quickly. Okay. Years ago, this was in the early 2000s when I had my DNA activated. I was focused on manifesting things, and it was amazing to see some of the things that were happening like really, really, really quickly. And so I'm not saying this simply for Mary, but for all of us to be really intentional with how it is that we're directing our consciousness, because sometimes there are things that we want, and we've got a certain amount of energy that we're putting in that direction, but at the same time we're fearful about getting it, or we're second guessing ourselves, and that puts some energy in that direction. So we're actually competing with our own selves in terms of manifesting what we actually desire versus keeping that thing at bay out of fear or out of a sense of unworthiness or anything like that. So I want to just do kind of general direction for all of us right now in terms of being able to be focused in the thing that actually serves our highest and best good, eliminating all sense of fear and any blockages to manifesting that which serves our highest and best good. And so in that spirit, I open that up for all of us right now. Open that up for all of us right now, and know that God is a healer, a restorer, a sustainer. And the divinity within me demonstrates God as a healer on the behalf of all of us, neutralizing the root cause of all sense of our illusions of unworthiness, of all unreacted and unaddressed, unresolved trauma, or any other forms of blockages or stagnation that would keep us from being in complete alignment with manifesting and even manifesting immediately that which serves our highest and best good, as well as any sense of unreadiness for that which serves our highest and best good, that we might align with a greater degree of readiness, and that all of those stagnant energies are transmuted and purified through the power of pure love. And from every soul, every cell of our body, every string particle of our existence, and that they might be transmuted into and replaced with a sense of wholeness, a sense of divine bliss, an awareness and embracing of the infinite power that exists within us. And I bear witness to our wholeness on this date and in this time and space called now. Thank you for this gift of your divine love. It is done, it is done, it is done. Okay. All righty. Pure intentions, yes, Mary. All right. Okay, so let's kind of clear up some of. I want to kind of focus on like some trauma, because we all have trauma that's buried deep within our subconscious that we're not consciously aware of at all, that may keep us from manifesting the good that we would consciously want to experience in our And so just want to look at like 357,000 traumas that exist collectively amongst us here that would be standing in the way of that. We want to purify that and create space for a smooth and easy flow of energy and a sense of being at rest and at peace, and a sense of ease and grace in the flow of that energy, even to its ultimate end. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that's beautiful. Okay. Um, and also want to, be more specific with the trauma and look at some deep-seated psychic trauma as it relates to that. Okay. All right. Clear some of that up and shed light onto that. Transmute it to true love and divine light. All right. And let's look also at things that just exist in terms of the collective consciousness of humanity. Okay, in terms of limiting belief systems. And actually, something just grabbed me about going back to the psychic trauma, and something that's coming up for me for whatever reason is Salem witch trials. That's coming up for whatever reasons. We might clear that out. Anything attached to that that would hinder us from stepping in our full expressions of the divinity that exists within us and our ability to manifest things, to allow the great power to flow in us and through us. The manifestation of beautiful and wonderful things, even immediate manifestation. I look for a moment at fear surrounding fear surrounding immediate manifestation. And not just our own fear, but our fear of other people's manifestations of their fear. All right. Yeah, we want to bring all of that back into a sense of harmonium. Okay. And I want to look at fears of the past projected into the future. I want to reconcile those fears of the past projected into the future. And the reality is that the past, the present, and the future all exist simultaneously. We just don't process it that way. Sometimes in transcending the matrix training, I talk about we usually think about changing the potential future and remembering the past. Kind of flip that into remembering the future and changing the past. And all of that can be done because really it's all existing simultaneously. Okay. Look at at just general fear of the dark. Bring that into harmony and balance. Whether it's from childhood traumas, watching scary movies, hearing scary stories. And want to look at any limitations on us flowing in the totality of who we are based on any type of limiting religious indoctrination. bring that into harmony and that into balance. Sometimes people are well-meaning but share things from their limited perspective that ends up that we sometimes end up taking in and use that to limit us ourselves. And by the way, no sense of self-loathing, no sense of disbelief or low self-esteem or any of that is a direct function of what other people have said or done. Every single bit of it is a function of what we've taken in. No self-judgment on that either for anything that we've allowed ourselves to take in that other people have said or done, that we've taken to mean about ourselves, or that we've taken to use as a reason to not fully be the fullness of who it is that we were really created and born to be, and always have been. Okay, let's just tap into our memory for a second. Okay, and address the gatekeeper of sacred memories, of the essence of who we really are. And move beyond the dweller of the threshold and tap into an embracing of the fullness of who we are. It's very beautiful, very powerful beings. I've said before in these Wednesday Hope and Healing Hours, we're all like a drop of water from the ocean of God. No drop of water is the whole ocean, but every single drop of water contains all of the properties of the ocean. And just as it rains and droplets of water fall in other parts of the earth, and that each droplet is always seeking to make its way back to the ocean, so it is with us. We somehow along our life's journey, we forget who it is that we really are. And we're always somehow seeking to find our way back home to the essence and the fullness of who it is that we really are. To experience that sense of at one with our divine essence, with the source of all that is, with the God that exists well beyond our human understanding. Okay. All right. And let's look at any type of negative programming, any type of negative socialization from our life experience, whether parents and teachers, people that we looked up to, from things that we observed in the media. You're welcome, Trisha C. Alrighty, and let's see here. Any of our own negative programming. Okay. Thinking that we can't fill in the blank. Thinking that we can't manifest immediately. Thinking that we're not good enough. Thinking that we're too much of this, not enough of that. Okay. All right, and that's looking better. Okay. All righty. And let's just take a quick sweeping look at our own family lineage, both generations after us and generations before us. 89 generations. So we're going to just deal with that, help clear that out. It helps us to resolve it within us, helps it to be resolved within them. You know, we stand on the, I've often said that I stand on the shoulders of the prayers of those who came before me. There are blessings and opportunities that I get to experience because of the ground being paved by those who came before me, those in my own ancestral line. And yet there's also a responsibility in terms of receiving the passing of the mantle to continue work that they weren't able to resolve things that they weren't able to in their lifetimes. And so we actually all just got to participate in some things being resolved within us and going back many generations, resolving things within our family lineage. Such a beautiful, great opportunity and honor. My goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't consciously know the names of many more generations than those that I do. But I'm thankful to be able to serve in the capacity of helping to resolve some things that existed with those whose names I've never known. Alrighty. And let's just kind of deal with this piece of any sense of limitations regarding our ability to manifest. Okay. Any types of other hidden fears or hidden self-doubts? Bring those into a greater sense of self-confidence and being able to still have a sense of confident humility. Knowing that it doesn't make us better than anybody else because we're able to manifest instantly. But we're just graced to be able to tap into the power that exists within all of us. Maybe we'll be able to help others do the same. I'm calling for heart purification of all of us. We might create and manifest in alignment with that which does serve the good, support the good. And it would not be to our detriment or ultimately to the detriment of any of our brothers or sisters in creation. All right, so we want to transmute, purify, clear through the light of the Holy Spirit, now henceforth and forevermore, for all generations of time, past, present, and future, with absolute, complete, permanent healing, with definite and immediate correct perception of wholeness, forgiving and forgetting all things that would stand in the way of that. And we give great thanks for this gift of divine love, affirming it is done, it is done, it is done. All right. So hopefully we all get some benefit from that. Thank you, Mary, for bringing that up. So that could be actually addressed in all of us. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Kafera in terms of what you mentioned regarding your husband, and I want to look at actually the month of January as a trigger for you, and actually helping to resolve that. To be able to fully embrace whatever comes up regarding your husband and the experience of him no longer being physically embodied with you in daily life experience. To shed light in areas where shadow has been developed, or there's been an area of darkness that's been developed that you may have any fear of going into, exposing. Feeling completely safe to feel vulnerable with yourself and the source of all that is. And welcoming in the light of divine love into that space or into those spaces. In that area where there's a God-sized hole in the shape of your husband, we call in divine love and light. Feel that space. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so we bring the presence of love and light into that space. Any stagnated emotions, whether they be pleasant or not so much so, invite for the flow so that energy won't be stagnated, and therefore toxic, but that it may be therapeutic, healing, and wholesome. In any sense of, as odd as this sounds, it's coming up, any sense of fear of betrayal. Like that you may be fearing betraying him somehow by moving forward. Love and light might be shined into those spaces. We shine love and light into the space of that time a year ago when your husband was in the process of making his transition. A little more than that when he was in the process of his decline. You shine love and light into your eyes and into your heart and into the full spectrum of the range of your emotions as you're bearing witness to that. And any fear that arose or trauma that arose or judgments that arose during that time as a function. Coming on to the present and continuing forward through the future. When we look at anticipation of the date of January the 30th, bring love and light into that space where that anticipation dwells. All right, now I want to check in with you all on how all of you are feeling right now, by the way. With you, well, with everyone in terms of the manifesting, certainly you, Mary, since you were the one who brought it up, how you're feeling regarding, what we're addressing right now, Dr. Kafira. Let us know that too. We certainly would appreciate Oh, Mary says, feeling strong. All right. All right. I'm glad to see that. Melanie, you're welcome. Trisha C, you're welcome. Oh, I just dawned on me that Melanie and Trisha C are both watching from YouTube. It seems that everyone else is, at least that's commenting, is viewing from Facebook, actually directly from Facebook. I don't see anywhere where it says Facebook users, so it doesn't seem to be from the Transcending the Matrix group. Mary says, courageous is all I feel, actually. That's awesome, Mary. That's awesome. What about you, Dr. Kafera? What are you feeling right now? How are you feeling right now? And we're going to continue actually offering some support in that area. You're very welcome there. Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, offer some more. And really, I want to open this up for anybody who might be experiencing any sense of heartache or any sense of loss or pain connected to either or both of those. The focus is Dr. Kafera in this situation, but we're opening it up for everybody to actually be able to receive the benefit of it. I want to address the illusion of loss of love. Yeah, it's an issue. Let's bring that into resolve. Actually, that's going to need a little bit of addressing. Okay. Interesting, somehow within humanity, we have this idea that part of the most beautiful love story is tragedy. And that it sometimes seems to end on that note of tragedy. Romeo and Juliet being the perfect personification. Let's actually go beyond that story of tragedy to a more infinite perspective. That we might consciously and subconsciously be aligned with that more infinite perspective of the most beautiful love story. Your most beautiful love story, specifically. Where that sense of union and harmony, rapturous love. All right. So I feel some shift taking place in that, perhaps for all of us. So definitely giving thanks for that, and that celebrate this gift of divine love. the manifestation of it on the state in this time and space called now. Thank you. Thank you, God, once again, for this gift of your divine love. It is done. It is done. It is done. Okay, anybody else have anything going on? If not, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Um, oh wow, we're already an hour in. Boy, how time flies when you're having fun. And I'm so happy to be here with all of you today. Uh, it is so beautiful to be able to have souls coming together on one accord uh, in a focused way, uh, focused on that which is supportive and that which is bringing a presence of a sense of community and a sense of love and harmony and grace. And I really want to just honor all of you who have chosen to show up today. I want to celebrate the light and the love that exists within and between all of us. I thank you for sharing in this experience with me, that we're all able to share in this experience together, focusing on the love and light of God and bringing it into greater awareness within our own selves. All of us have areas that can use some light shined on. All of us have areas that some love can be welcomed into that space. And I thank all of you for participating in this sacred space, if you will, where we can consciously focus on the elevation of those areas that have been buried deep down inside of us that need to be brought to the surface, brought to the light, and reconciled, for being able to participate with one another for a greater flow and a greater expression of love. That's how my late grandfather, John A. Hall, used to say it. Love. So glad to flow in the love. And I thank you all for being here. Thank you for showing up on the planet, for being here, for all that you are and all that you ever hope to be. Thank you for allowing the light to shine in you and for your courage to address the areas where there's shadows. Thank you for the healing balm that you bring into the lives of those souls with whom you come in contact. I love you all. I pray grace and peace is manifest within each and every one of us individually, that we might continue to connect. Math doesn't always work linearly, where 1 + 1 + 1 doesn't just necessarily equal 3, but it could equal 3,000. And so as we bring our individual collective expressions of love and light into this place, it isn't just the sum, where the whole really is greater than the sum of its parts. It isn't just 1 + 1 + 1 from whatever different parts of the world that we might be in. Those numbers add up to result in a certain amount of energy that's pulled together. But actually, is my light meets your light, as my love meets your love, and as we all connect in light, and as we all connect in love, it actually expands exponentially. So it's not just me plus you. It's a beautiful plethora, a beautiful blossoming and unfolding and expansion to where there's more that is existing within each and every one of us. You know, I'm more tapped into the love because of the love that you brought into the space. All right. And so we each are operating on higher frequencies of love and higher frequencies frequencies of light. And then all of that is pulled together, and it continues to cause it to grow. All right. There really is a lot of beautiful stuff going on planet Earth right now. And it's easy to get caught up in the things that are showing on the news and stuff like that. But there is a lot of beautiful, wonderful, amazing stuff that's taking place on the planet. And some of it is because you exist, honestly. Some of it is because you're bringing what it is that you have that's been placed within you to the planet. There are times where I hear people telling me that I somehow helped them that I had no clue about it. People telling me that they were in a coma and I showed up and visited them and stuff like that. And I don't take any credit for that. But we all are actually being a blessing to people in ways that we don't always even know. And so I encourage us to all be who we really are, to allow the fullness of us to come up and to come out and to express, and to embrace the fact that there really is much more to us than whatever our dramas or whatever our issues might be. That there's a tremendous amount of beauty and power and love that exists within each and every single one of us. And so I look forward to us continuing to connect like this. There's Transcending the Matrix training that I do. What I do, I believe is very powerful, because I've seen some miraculous stuff happen for thousands of people all across the globe very quickly. But I mean, it's not just limited to me, you know. I am no more special than anybody else on the planet. I'm just thankful for the grace of the opportunity to be able to tap into it. But the thing that exists within me that allows it to come out also exists within you. It's just a matter of getting access to it. And I'm certainly happy to be able to share that. Anybody who is interested in training, we make that available. I encourage you to just reach out to me either on Facebook at Royce Fletcher Thomason or on Instagram at Royce Fletcher Thomason. We actually just recently created another Instagram, a Transcending the Matrix Instagram. So you can feel free to send me a message there as well. If you don't hear back from me in 24 hours, please just send me another message. Sometimes I get a lot of messages and I miss them. It's not that I'm trying to ignore anybody. I just sometimes miss them. And then if it gets buried underneath a lot of other messages, it may take a while for me to see them, if ever, quite honestly. So much in love and light to you all. Mary says, we are but a vessel to channel the divine. That is absolutely true. We are the all. We simply must have the trust to create the divine within this earth realm. Yes, 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 yes. Trisha C says, you're interested, you'll reach out. All right, yeah, Trisha C. So just, I believe we're connected on Facebook too, if I remember correctly. I think that you've actually logged in at least to this on Facebook before. So just, like I said, either hit me a direct message on Facebook or on Instagram, and we'll be sure to talk about how we can make that. I love you all. I look forward to this continued expansion of love and light that we're engaged in. I'm thankful to be partnered with all who are beings of light. And the truth of the matter is that we all are. Sometimes we just don't allow ourselves to know that. But I wish you an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bountiful, bright blessings upon all of us and through all of us as we go about the rest of our day, the rest of our week. And I look forward to seeing you soon.